Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Let me know if I'm visible, if I'm audible. You can comment in the section below if you can hear me. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram and also on YouTube. Welcome. We want to get started tonight. It is 7 p.m. here in Texas, and we'll be joining with Sister Modesta Mahiga in just a few minutes. I'm so excited. This year has just started different for me. I don't know for everybody else, but for me, it has just hit at another level, especially when we talk about leadership and, um, just creating a personal brand and visioneering and all that great stuff. So we've done things before. This is just going to be a top, the next level of what we have done before. So I want you to share this stream if you can. I'll be bringing in Modesta in a few minutes, but let us talk about what we're doing. So my name is Pastor JJ. I'm the pastor of Kingdom Life Community Church, but I'm also the founder of the Global Diaspora Leadership Network. And our aim is to empower and equip immigrant leaders. I came to the United States about 17, 18 years ago. Yeah, it's about 18 years ago. And so I went through a lot of struggles, and just like everybody else, um, but I find my way, and I still keep on keeping on, learning and adjusting and adapting. And so we have some tools for you guys that you can use this year, and we're kicking it off with a masterclass on Friday at 9 p.m. And Modesta is going to be doing that class. She is an incredible leader, teacher. She is good at what she does. She has passion, she has knowledge, she knows her stuff in and out. And so I couldn't get a better person to speak on this subject apart from her. And so I'm so grateful that she said yes. And she was so ready. She has been, fine tuning a lot of things for you guys. And just remember that this is free. This is a free masterclass. You don't have to pay. If you were to pay for this class, you would have, paid a lot of money. So take advantage of this. Keep on sharing. Even on the replay, we hope that some other people are going to watch this even later tonight, maybe tomorrow, but hopefully people will keep on registering. There's a registration link. We're going to put it on in a few minutes so that you can have it. But at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and pull in Modesta because we're not going to stay here too long tonight. She's an hour ahead of me, so it is already it is already deep night there. Not really deep night, but but it is night. All right, everybody, let me welcome Sister Modesta. I'm going to bring her in, and we'll just move forward. Just talk a little bit about what we're doing on Friday. Sister
Hey,
Modesta,
everybody. Hi.
hey.
I love how you said deep night and then you can see what daylight because of my virtual. How well. I am so.
I miss. That's so funny.
Is going to betray me. But that's all right. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
DJ. You know, you're so humble.
thank you.
Master Dr. J.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Personal
It-
branding. So,
it-
and
yeah,
cultural differences, right?
correct.
Come
Yes,
from the
yes,
same culture and you just
yes,
don't toot your horn.
yes.
It's not part of our culture, nor is
Mhm.
it even part of our faith, right?
Right,
We
right.
walk in humility and
Mm,
we let the fruit of our work speak for itself. But that's
mm,
why you find yourself in these work contexts, in these competitive, right, global marketplace. And
right.
sometimes we struggle to know the balance. Like, at which point do I speak of who I am and what I do and the great things I've done?
Hmm, hmm,
And
hmm,
the things will
hmm.
speak for themselves. So I look forward to the
Yes.
master class and I look forward to this teaser today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully, if we have more people joining, they'll be able to ask some few questions.
Nice.
And after that we close out. So maybe when we talk about vision, why do you think it is critical for immigrant leaders to have a clear vision for their organizations and communities? Why do you think that is so important, such that we have to discuss it right at the beginning of the year
Yeah.
and have it set right?
That's such a brilliant question. But first of all, I need to tell you, you've got a banner that says we start in 5 minutes.
I gotta take it out.
So,
Thank you,
from the
thank
way
you
I've
so much.
just
Thank you
from the
so
way I've
much for.
showed up, people know what Friday will be about. I'm going to be myself. I always will be. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that question. And I love the topics that you pulled out for this masterclass, vision and goal setting, then talking about adaptive leadership and personal branding, and the fact that it starts with vision. Because if you don't know where you're going,
Hmm. Hmm.
you're not going to be focused.
Correct.
You won't ultimately get to your destination.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there is nothing more cruel, if I could say crueler, than a
Mm.
leader who is not clear about where he or she wants to take their people.
Right. Right.
Often we recruit people who are, they're passionate about the causes that they've joined with us on.
Mm.
They expend so much energy, they probably invest their resources. And if there isn't clarity of where are we going, Dr.
Mm.
Miles Monroe said, put a postcard destination, image of
Mm.
where we're going and what it will look like when we get there, so
Mm.
that people see why they should be so invested. This
Hmm.
is what success looks like.
Right. Right.
Because anybody who hears a cause the first day is going to be excited, but
Right.
at some point it's not excitement that keeps you going. There has to be
Mm.
something greater than this is a popular
Mm.
organization to be part of, or this is a great leader, to
Mm.
get behind. Each person needs to know for themselves,
Hmm.
what about this leader's or this organization or this community's vision resonates with mine.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
is what I want us to understand. And it may sound selfish, but people really are looking to pursue their aims in life.
Hmm. Hmm.
And to the extent a person comes and submits to you, to your organization, to be part of this community, it's
Hmm.
because there's something about what they want for their lives
Correct.
that resonates with what you say you can offer.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
And so this is how I put it often when I'm coaching or when I'm training, is
Mm.
a person was going to go somewhere in life anyway. Maybe they didn't
Mm.
have clarity, but they certainly had a longing to get somewhere.
Yes, and I think on Friday that's where you bring in that clarity. You've talked
Of
about
course, we'll
clarity
talk.
here.
Yeah, we'll talk about the clarity. But
Be-
what is key to know is this person can go ahead and do things by themselves. The
Mm.
fact that they have chosen to submit their path
Mhm.
to join your organization or your community,
Right.
the least you can do as a courtesy is be clear about where you're
Right.
taking them and what
Mhm.
is in it for them to come
Mhm.
alongside.
Mhm. 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 Yeah, that's indeed. It's so you've spoken so much in just a few minutes right there, talking about being laser focused.
Yeah.
And I think for us immigrants, I came from Africa 17 years ago to the
Mhm.
United States,
Mhm.
and at the beginning, my focus was just to get here to study.
Yeah.
And once people get here, they find out that the American dream is not as easy.
Nothing worth pursuing is.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And so some people give up
Mhm.
just like that. They give up on their dreams, and every day is just a hamster wheel. Things are just the same old. And I was just thinking as you're talking about, casting a vision, being clear, and
Mhm.
whether you're a family person or you are a leader in your organization, in the community, they all resonate. They all come to the same thing of clarity and being able to articulate where you need to go.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, what are some of the biggest challenges that immigrant leaders face after they have come to this, Canaan, and then they find out, things are not as they thought they were.
Yeah.
And maybe you're going to talk about this a little bit more, how to overcome, but maybe you can give us a hint, maybe one or two things on how to overcome those challenges, just maybe one.
Yeah, well, maybe one or two, but first thing is mindset, right? I mean, you've been sold. We just spoke about this postcard picture. You
Right,
got the postcard. The destination looks amazing,
right.
right? So you got the ticket. You're heading to this destination.
Mhm,
You arrive, but there's so much else that wasn't in fine print, right?
mhm,
You get a rude awakening. And I think the
mhm,
first thing is mindset. And maybe we'll talk about this on Friday. Culturally, you don't have the kind of support system to help you get a soft landing when you arrive.
right,
You
right.
you you don't have a good way. It may be financial, it may be social structures,
Mm,
it may also just be understanding how the system works. So, for
mm,
instance, people understanding the importance of having, maybe it could be credit and the implications of ruining your credit, or,
right,
getting Social Security. We're speaking about the context of the US.
right.
Um, Living, like above the law and not,
Mm,
cutting corners and the implications of that. Or
mm,
sometimes it's not even that people want to do wrong, but by ignorance of what is right to do, find
mm,
themselves lagging behind.
mm.
The first thing is, uh, it is a rude awakening. I often tell people, "Hakuna mtu akurushia tigo pesa," and so in my country, or empower, right? Like in,
Right.
in in my country, you can borrow against a
Mhm,
credit scheme on
mhm.
your phone, on your, like your provider gives.
Right.
You don't have that, or to
No.
tell someone, send me money real quick.
Yes.
No,
Yes. Mhm.
everything is on you. So I think that and I want to say this about our context in Africa. There's so much more structure and things are systematized. There's systems here, right? It's not
Mhm.
any which way. You cannot just call a person at the DMV, or
Mhm.
right. You can't just call a person
Mhm.
at local government.
Mhm.
There is a system of things, and you go by the system. Any late payments, any late filing come with consequences, and the penalties
Mhm.
are grave. They're
Mhm.
great, and
Mhm.
it is on your record. Every single part of the system
Mhm.
is integrated, and so everything you do has implications everywhere else you go.
Mhm.
And I think honestly, just coming into such a well structured context puts people off, because at home, you who do you know where who do, even hospitals, they could be private hospitals. You have to go through so many private calls before you can
Mhm.
find out who would be the practitioner to go see about a certain thing.
Mhm.
And here is completely, well, I cannot say it's transparent and it's ever, because it's, government is government, there's bureaucracy.
Right.
Unless you follow the rules
Mhm.
and you come from 20, 30, 40, 50 years where you're in a place where there were barely any, like, not having rules was the norm.
Mhm.
Rules is
Mhm.
the exception, but here
Right.
everything is the rule. I think
Mhm.
that is really overwhelming, that I
Right.
don't have to call someone.
Mhm.
I don't have to, could somebody please explain this to me? No, just get on the website.
Mhm.
Go on
Mhm.
here to go on the website.
Mhm.
Like, so I think that gets overwhelming. And then
Mhm.
when you find you're behind some things as well, like you
Mhm.
said, you're on a hamster wheel. You just want to get by,
Mhm.
so you can maybe meet arrears, or you can just survive, and you lose that vision. Why
Right.
did you come here? Where
Yeah.
did you want to take you and
Mhm.
your family?
Mhm.
What that
Mhm.
could look like? And people find
Mhm.
decades later they're
Mhm.
still just chasing
Mhm.
bills and getting by,
Mhm.
and the dream seems elusive. So having a vision,
Mhm.
and instead of saying, what does, for instance, America have to bring, is to say, this is who I am, this is where I'm going. Where do I need to align things in America to get there? So the
Mhm.
vision is non-negotiable. The plans may change, the route, a lot of other things may change, but when you come with a vision, then you're moving towards that vision rather than just whatever comes before me and I need to do that. This time will go and
Mhm,
you don't have gotten
mhm.
anywhere.
Wow. So you've spoken about two things there, like two main things that I'm hearing. The first
Mm,
one is mindset, and it's interesting because I myself had to realign again uh, this year, at the beginning of this year, and not
mm,
just every year, just at the beginning of the year, but every day I have to realign my mindset to what really makes sense, what is going to bring my dreams to come to fruition.
mm.
But it seems like immigrants, we don't really think about mindset that much, unfortunately. And also, the other thing you talked about, systems. So, from what I'm hearing you, people have to prepare themselves to be somewhat worthy of the system, to be worthy of this, so
So,
that the system can work for you.
by the way, thank you for saying that. This system can work for you,
Right.
but I think, again, going back and we're using the word mindset, but I'd like to also, maybe, if I may, substitute it with culture, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That the culture we came from, well, first of all, because of the barriers in hierarchy, whether it is societal hierarchy, just the way society is made, the family unit, greater unit, but also what it means to approach government, what it means to approach government officials, what it
Right.
means to approach government institutions. There's often such a barrier between the citizen, right,
Hmm.
and the structures, that we just don't even know if we would be welcome. And then, worse off, you're coming into a culture where maybe even a colonial mindset that they're better off. These
Mm,
are they
mm,
that
mm,
rule the world. America is the
mm,
strongest nation in
mm.
the world. So
Right.
you're like, little old me. Is there a place for me here? Almost approaching it with fear.
Mm,
I made a lot of mistakes, and I haven't been here that long, but a lot of mistakes, and I forgot, I forwent, I let go of, right. I
mhm.
didn't take
Right.
advantage of a lot of opportunities that were available to me.
Right.
I didn't know to ask. There was
Mhm,
a time, honestly, I didn't know we were eligible for WIC. That would have
mhm.
really made a difference to my kids' future
Right. Right.
when they were 2 and 3.
Mhm,
That was
mhm.
such a, we came here. My husband was a student, and we're
Yeah.
dependents, and we're trying to make one person stipend work for 4 people, little kids in
Right.
diapers.
Yeah.
I found out 3 years later that I was eligible for that.
Right.
Found out 3 years later about the Social Security, and when, and what we're eligible,
Mhm,
even tax refunds at the time we needed them, right?
mhm,
And so,
mhm. I had some people at the beginning when I came here. They did my taxes wrong because they put me in this other box, like, oh, you know and not, I'm not saying that they just didn't know. They
yeah,
just
yeah,
didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't know. So on Friday we are working on all these things. I believe, like how
Where's the thing?
mindset, working on aligning ourselves to the system, making it work for us.
Yeah,
I've seen immigrant leaders who have been given positions at work,
yeah,
of which they have to lead other people. They have to lead, people from other nations.
yeah,
And I feel like I've seen some people stumble, or they feel like they're not worthy of picking up those
yeah,
responsibilities,
yeah.
uh, just because of their background, you
Mm,
know. And I think you've really brought in a big issue here that we need to work on, and we're going to work on in this masterclass. You're going to get all the notes, and all the information that's going to help you this year. Those who are going to join, and it's a free masterclass. You're just going to register on there. But
mm,
I've worked with you before, and one thing that really struck with me was, with all humility, I'm a person of many talents,
you are.
and yes, and sometimes they say you become the jack of all trades and the master of none.
Yeah,
But the moment that I met you and we worked together, you were able, within an hour and a half, to just give me clarity in all those things.
yeah.
And just to say that I myself has a doctorate in leadership.
And I love that. I love the humility which you
Yeah,
approach, which goes to show, because if there's anything, a lot of immigrants are actually really qualified, education,
correct. Yes, they are.
experience,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
And so to learn that it's not that you don't have the knowledge,
Yeah,
or you don't have the experience. It's a different context with different priorities. So
correct.
you've got your values and you've got your way of doing things. They've got their values and their norms. And
Mm,
and the question is, how do I show up authentically? How
mm,
do I not compromise
right.
values, faith,
Mm,
uh, even culturally, in terms of respect, and how the harmony that we keep in society? How do I remain who I am yet
right.
be relevant?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Where is the balance in that? And that's really key to know,
Hmm.
um, because this culture, and let me talk about the Western context. You're going to be visible, you're going to deliver results, you're going to articulate in less than 1 minute the value
Hmm.
you've added, why it matters, and why you're a person we should look out for.
Hmm.
That's so counter what we're used to.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
so there are those who are able to seize the opportunities and to really make the system work for them. But there are people who've been around for decades and they don't. And
Right.
when I arrived, all the news I heard is we couldn't get by here.
Mm,
And I heard it from all kinds of corners. And I said, listen, the God who helped me where I came from is the same God who helped me here.
yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
because
Yes.
I've had a sense of vision and purpose all along. And so this isn't for a few. All of us can. And on Friday, we'll craft our
Right.
visions and get
Hmm.
very clear about protecting them and promoting them.
Right.
And so I showed up in the system saying, this is who I am, this is where I'm going. How can you work for me to make
Yes.
sure we get there? And
Right.
the system has obliged 8 years later.
Yes. 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 This is very key. We're coming to an end here. We're gonna be taking questions really soon. If you have some questions, you can start putting them on the chat. We can go on and on and on. But we have 2 hours on Friday to discuss much deeper. We're just gonna keep our mouths shut on Friday to hear Modesta speak. But we've talked a little bit, just giving you guys a taste of what is going to come on Friday. But just the testimony. I came here just like everybody else, and at one time I was working someplace, and then I came to realize that everybody who worked at a certain department was an immigrant,
Hmm.
and everybody else who worked at a different department,
Hmm.
which was much better than where we worked,
Yeah.
uh, was not.
Yeah.
And so it is as though everybody arrived and felt like they're worthy of staying in that department.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it goes back to mindset, as you said.
Yeah.
Those who were able to think outside the box
Yeah.
and create a vision from themselves,
Hmm.
they were able to push out
Hmm.
what might have been a misfortune
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah.
And I know people coming here, maybe others do not have papers, they're struggling, and they think, you know what, once I get my papers, everything is going to be great and awesome. And guess what? No.
But it's not that. I mean, it's important, fine, yes, to get the
Yes,
papers,
yes,
but because it's the mindset, it doesn't matter the context that you put in.
yes.
There's a person who came from, again, it was Africa, and she was promoted 2 3 times within 2 years, and now is a VP of a very significant financial institution in this country.
Mhm.
A person from the same country found them either in mid-management. No, it was low. They weren't even in mid-management. And she was giving this person tips, of how to distinguish themselves. And they didn't. And three
Mm,
promotions and now VP of a very,
mm,
very large institution. This
mm,
person, same place they
mm.
arrived
Right there.
years ago.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Sister Modesta. We're coming to an end. I don't know if anybody has a question. Sorry, can't hear you. Were you saying something, Modesta?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't speak. I mean, I could just give a little bit of a summary of the three things that we'll talk about.
Yes, yes, the three
Um,
things that we'll talk about,
so
and
the
I'm gonna be putting the registration link
nice.
right
Okay.
right on the chat here.
So good. So, we've spoken a little bit about vision. The other thing about, not just getting clarity on your vision, because sometimes we have visions and then our day-to-day lives, like you said, hamster wheel, you're doing everything but moving in the direction of your
Oh,
vision. So
the vision. Oh, yeah.
having clarity, protecting that vision. So moving
Hmm.
the vision into goals, right? So that
Mm,
it's closer to something you can touch and feel and put a number to and give a timeline to.
mm,
And then learning then life is still happening while I am dreaming about where I want to go in life. There are
correct.
bills to be paid, there are things to take care of. How
Mm,
do I reconcile the two? We're going to talk
mm,
about that. How do you
mm,
set goals that you can achieve? And then
mm,
how do you then
mm,
put the structures for
mm.
yourself to make sure you get there? And as a
Yeah.
leader of an organization community, make sure the organization gets there and your
Hmm.
members get there.
Hmm.
Then we're going to talk about adaptive leadership, and that's saying I am in a new context.
Mm. I
I
got
need
adapt.
to operate likewise. I need to adjust,
Mm.
yet adjust without losing myself.
Hmm.
Because you cannot keep up something for too long that you
Right.
don't genuinely believe in, or you don't see yourself being part of. Either you're going to kill your soul,
Mm.
or you will stop. You'll just go back to your default setting. So
Correct.
how do you adapt
Mm,
as a
mm,
leader in a new context? And then finally, how
mm,
do you distinguish yourself?
mm, mm, mm.
What is it that people who come in from other countries and are able, we see them month after month, year after year, making strides and taking steps. What's the difference? What are they doing? And it's not rocket science, and it's not connections. You would be surprised. I did not come here on connections. I came here because my husband got a scholarship.
Mm.
Then subsequent to that, the consultancies with the UN and the World Bank and African Union and corporate America that I'm working with, and starting my own business, and all of the things I was able to do, it
Mm,
wasn't because of connections. So how
mm,
do you do that when people said people like us will not get paid more than $10 an hour? You need to stop what you're doing, and you got to do these types of jobs. I'm not even looking down on jobs, but it's just because I had a vision. I
mm,
wanted to pursue my vision, and I had people saying, Modesta, you come to America to survive, not to thrive. I said, I refuse.
mm, mm. No.
Literally those words. You come to America
Mm,
to survive, not to thrive. I said, nah.
mhm.
But that pushing back, because it will push you, right? You're saying you're in Canaan. Canaan has giants, and Canaan,
Yes.
you have to.
Mm, mm,
So life will push back. The people who make it, it's not like people who have things straight.
mm, mm.
It's because they're anchored on that vision, and they've got the skills, the strategies, the tools. And this is what we're going to go into on Friday. It's
Right.
not rocket science. It's not for people who are educated a certain way or have certain money or have connections.
Mm,
These are universal principles, skills, tools that anyone can apply as long as they're consistent. And
mm,
I think another thing that people find value in on Friday is I help you stay consistent.
mm. Yes, you
I am
got
a
it.
wife, I am a
Mm,
mother. I in
mm,
doing all of these things.
mhm,
How do you
mhm.
stay consistent?
Right.
Because results they compound after a while. You have to
Mm,
stay consistent. And I help you with your 2, 3 jobs, with everything else you're doing. Learn how to structure your life so that you can see the results. So
mm.
is this the land of plenty? Is it, a land of dreams? Absolutely.
Yes.
But you have to be strategic about
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
then to make sure. First of all, have a dream, have
Mm,
clarity of vision, set goals, and then protect them.
mm,
Make
mhm,
sure you ultimately get
mhm.
there. And
Wow.
what you said about that department, we also need to start leaving some spaces where we're just
Correct.
congregating with each other
Mhm, mhm,
if
mhm,
we're going to make it out here. But
mhm.
that's a whole other conversation. And
Yeah,
another
exactly. Well, Modesta, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You always bring in a wealth of information. I like your energy, your passion, your knowledge, and I love your family. Greetings to your husband and your kids. They are so
thank you so
precious to
much.
us too. I look forward to having you on Friday night, and we have these every month. So Next month there's going to be another one. But let us end here tonight. We're going to close this out, and if you have any questions, you can DM me. Please share this so that many people can see. You have already given a ton of information that we were supposed to pay right here.
There's tons more. I think why do we get more tactical, right?
Exactly,
So if
exactly.
there's those will be questions that the audience will ask, but
Okay.
I will help them the how to's, the tactical, the strategic, the go
Yes.
to this site,
Yeah.
start this, make this your morning routine.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
how to's, I think, is what
Mhm.
people really need, and we'll have room for Q&A for
Mhm.
people to personalize what I'll be
Mhm.
sharing Friday.
Yes, yes. And you talked about consistency. I feel like sometimes immigrants, we come here, we try this and that and that, and then we don't really stick to maybe one or two things to see them come to fruition.
Yeah.
And then in a few weeks, a few months, we say, it doesn't work. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But you need somebody else to be behind your shoulders,
Yeah.
to get you to stick to something and to get you to show how to adapt some things that we're talking about here. And that is somebody like you would help. All right. Thank you so much. You have a good night, and then we'll see you all on Friday.